What's up everyone, how's it going? In this game we have LaSh as our green Japanese spawning in the southwest of Dry Arabia, and in the northeast we have Attila as the Zushi Legacy. As pretty standard for our Chinese and Chinese variant, Mill will be going down at the berry bushes, grab a little bit of wood, build up the mill in order, well, he could have just dropped it off right there, but he does get a little bit of an added bonus since it is getting supervised. And now that's it. That's your opener. That's what you want to do every single game. He is going for a house though. Generally what you see with this build is they'll go for a village instead, but he's going for a house, which is totally fine. I mean, the village is what, 125, right? Yeah, so he would have to get a little bit more wood in order to drop his what's it called, mining camp. There you go, forgot the word for a moment. Over here with our Japanese player, we see him going straight into stone, which means he's going to be going for a 2TC play into a daimyo. Not entirely sure where he's going to be getting his daimyo. I really like getting it onto the second TC. A lot of pros and higher level people, it just varies from person to person. Some people like getting it on their main TC, some like getting it on their secondary TC. I like getting it on the secondary because it does increase its health and it also gives it the arrow slits, so you get that little extra damage with your second TC. You're not going to be too worried for main TC snipes, especially early on with rams or anything like that, but they will be going after your second TC. If it becomes a daimyo manor, it gets 1,000 extra health and an arrow slit. Remember, a few patches ago they did get rid of the arrows from your second TC. They also reduced the garrison capacity from 10 to 7. So getting the extra arrow slit onto your second TC, I think makes a bigger difference than having 2 arrow slits on your main TC and the extra 1,000 health. I can't tell you how many times getting the daimyo on my second TC made a world of a difference from it getting attacked. I mean, from it getting destroyed and it staying alive, because the extra 1,000 health does give you that extra cushion on pulling villagers to burn down the rams, for instance, or even getting out a couple more units. We do have our meditation garden coming down. This is honestly a really good meditation garden. Check the radius on it really quick. He's gonna be getting all the berries, a little bit of wood. Technically he could have pushed it up a little bit more if he really wanted to, that way he could still get all the berries. He would still get the stone and the gold. Let's take a better look at this. Yeah, if he pushed it up 2 squares, 1 square up, 2 squares to the right, he would be getting a lot more wood. Either way though, he wasn't going to be getting anything better. That's garbage. Yeah, like he really wasn't, unless he wanted to drop it right here and get a really good gold per minute. That's it. He wouldn't be getting any stone. Right here he's getting all 4 resources though. If you put it right here, like up against the stone, he would be getting both golds, a lot of wood, a decent amount of wood, and the stone of course, but 3 resources. And now we have our Jingning Tower coming through in order to transition into a Song Dynasty, which does increase non-military buildings, or reduces the wood cost of non-military buildings by 40%. I am really surprised that the Song Dynasty did not get touched whatsoever in this most recent patch. Not saying that it's oppressive or anything like that. A 40% cost reduction though is pretty insane, because their granary transition is so strong. Everything, their farms cost, I think their farms go from 75 down to 46. and their granaries are 125. They go down to 83 or something like that. So they're able to just transition so quickly into a huge farm economy. Over here for our Japanese, we do see the Kura storehouse. Also keep in mind, the Kura storehouse did get nerfed as well in the most recent patch. The garrison capacity has been cut in half. It went from 8 to 4. Second TC coming down as well for our Japanese player. Already coming down for Attila. Japanese went through quite a few nerfs in this most recent patch. I don't think have I casted a Japanese game since then? I don't think so. So I'll go ahead and mention it here. Kura storehouse got nerfed. As I already said, garrison capacity went from 8 to 4, cut in half. Second nerf is the farms themselves. So they spawn in a 50-second interval instead of a 45-second interval. So you're going to be getting, in the short term, it doesn't make that big of a difference. In the long term, it adds on an extra minute to getting a full set of farms around your Kura storehouse. There's 12 farms total. Each farm takes an extra 5 seconds, 60 seconds, an extra minute, right? It doesn't seem like it's a lot. It is though. When, let's say for instance, you do get raided, it's a little bit more, I don't want to say that it's like valuable to go after the farms, but if there is incremental damage thrown onto them and they eventually die, it does become a little bit of an added benefit because they take longer. Another massive nerf that came through for the Japanese is their floating gate landmark. You could only have a total of 4 Yorishiru in play throughout the entire game. It is no longer pseudo infinite. And by that I mean previously, every, what was it, 3 minutes you would get a Yorishiru. If the game lasted 1,000 hours, right, you would have a crap ton of Yorishiru throughout your entire base. And now it has a cap of 4, and that's it. No more than that. Not only that, but they spawn with a Shinto priest. So yes, you do get a Shinto priest for free, but honestly, I would rather just have the Yorishiru. Like it makes the nerf just really hit with the patch. They really did hit a lot of things about the Japanese. I don't agree with a lot of it, but you know, that'll be for our balanced discussion video if I ever decide to make one. If you guys want to talk about it, leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to chime in with my opinions. We have a stable out with 2 archery ranges for our Japanese player. Meanwhile, up here for our Zushi, the legacy player, 2 barracks, 1 archery. Quite a few still on wood, 2 TCs up and running. Third TC is actually up and running as well. Is he gonna go for another one, or is he just getting a lot of archery is coming down? For another archery is coming down, which means he's gonna be getting the free Chukunu from his Jingyang tower. And there it goes, instantly queued up. The free units do take 3 seconds, which is fine though. Yorishiru, Ashigiru, get a little bit of poke damage onto that spear, unable to kill it, but it does take quite a bit of damage from the Chukunu itself. Does he know? Does LaSh know about it? I don't think LaSh knows about the 3rd TC, otherwise he'd be going up there for a little bit of damage as well instead of hitting the main bulk of, or the front door of Attila. Attila Scout is going to be going into LaSh's base, checking out, see what he sees, if there's going to be if there's going to be an age up coming through anytime soon. Ooh. He's going to be missing out on a farm right here. The town center's blocking it. I don't think he had... No, he had enough room to the left. He could have dropped it 1 square over. Oh no, he would have had to drop it 2 squares over. Yeah. No, I think 1 square over would have been fine. Anyways, back to the game. Technically, I was talking about the game. Attila is sitting on 54 villagers because he is on 3 TC, 27 military supply, 15 Chukunu, 5 spears, 6 early palace guards. What is getting supervised? The lumber mill is getting supervised. The amazing thing for the Zushi legacy is the Jingning Tower. So currently Attila does have 23 villagers on wood. Whenever he drops a military production, he gets a unit for free out of the Jingning Tower. If he drops a barracks, he gets a spear for free. He drops an archery range, he gets a Jukunu for free. He drops a stable, he gets a horseman for free. It does take 3 seconds for them to spawn or to get produced. I don't know why I keep saying spawn, but that's what I'm going with. Walls coming up over here on the northwestern or on the western side of Attila's base. Same thing for LaSh on the west side of his base. And now the aggression begins for Attila. 42 military to 15. LaSh has 12 Ashigiru, 2 horsemen, and an Uma bannerman. That is it. That is all he has to the 47 military of Attila. 29 Chukunu, 9 palace guards, 8 spears, and his scout. There is a lot. Oh, there are a lot of villagers on wood at the moment for Attila. He is going to be able to start dropping down either even more production to get that military count higher and higher, or he's going to start building rams. Those are going to be his 2 main options right now. What did he end up doing? He had about 600-700 wood. He's going into his farm transition now. Of course, that's not a bad option either, but it looks like he's going to be playing for the long con at this rate instead of going for a game-ending move, which he really could have. Dropping 2 rams right there. So he would have dropped 2 rams, already has wood for another 2 rams. 4 rams total against what LaSh has would have been extremely devastating. Nice little army movement from Attila, just peeking in and out. That way LaSh knows that he's still there and is posturing as though he's going to attack. But realistically, he was just doing that in order to get his granaries up, get a lot of farms up. He's already transitioned into it. Okay, the granaries are... Wait, he's in Song Dynasty. Oh, do I have to switch over to his 75? So they go from 125 to 75 wood, and then each farm is now 45 wood, down from 75. Just so cheap now. The first rams are out. 53 Chukunu, 15 early palace guards, 8 spears, 2 rams, and they are going to be focus firing down the first archery range. Our Japanese player does hit castle. I don't believe that was a good call though, because he's only sitting on 32 military, 22 archers, or 22 Ashigiru, 5 horsemen, a Shinto priest that already has the Yodashiru. Not sure where he's going to be putting that. That's fine. Do not care about that right now. An Uma bannerman, a Yumi bannerman, and a Katana bannerman. So he does have one of each at the moment. 3 military protection buildings are down though. The 4th one is going to be going down, potentially the 5th as well. At this point, our Japanese player just needs to mess up as many samurai as he possibly can. 5 are in queue at the moment. A little bit of attack, but it's more just to deter than it is to actually defend. like to actually put any damage in. He wants to try to get rid of as many, or put on as much damage as he can onto the Rams to deny them, force them to pull back. And now the attack comes in with a huge Chukunu mass, 61 total, more and more military streamlining across. Oh, let me get a better angle. Okay, right here. More and more units for our Zushi legacy player just coming through. The critical mass of Chukunu is in, and just look at them mount the samurai. A little bit of a focus fire trying to come through from LaSh onto Attila. Does not seem like it's gonna be very much without that front line, because the early Palace guards are just putting in a ton of damage onto the back line. One samurai is going 1v4. Where are you? 1v4 against Palace guards. The Chukunus, or excuse me, the villagers that were on the west side of the map, or the left side of the screen, have been moved out, and now villagers are getting out of the TC and laying waste to the final ram. That was a lot of idle time, but I don't know why LaSh is pushing forward. He needs to back off. He needs to get those samurai numbers up. He is starved out. He has no food, tons of wood, tons of gold, a little bit of stone. He does need to drop a market in order to start selling off some of this wood and throwing it into his food. Currently sitting on 8 military, 5 Ashigiru, and the other 3 don't really matter right now, because 2 of which are Shinto priests. Wait, why are there 3? Oh, never mind. Where are your Shinto priests at? So we have the the first Yoshida right there. There's another Shinto priest, and he hasn't placed anything down yet. And 58 Chukunu. They are gonna just run into the entire and run into the middle of the farms and try to pick off whatever they can. They are taking quite a bit of damage though, just running through there from 22 villagers that are garrisoned inside of those 2 TCs. But the military side just isn't there. These Chukunu just obliterate the entire, or just obliterate the samurai. Since there are so many of them, it doesn't matter that they're only doing 1 shot of pop. 1 shot. Oh, the Mega now is out a little too late though, and it will get focus fired. Just look at that. These Chukunu are just completely destroying everything, and GG gets called. Game goes over to Attila, our pink Zushi player. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.